For me, where I am in my life, I think it's a lot about exploration. Like, I can't just accept that Jaws, Mavericks, Todos Santos, Dungeons, Porto, and some of the other waves are the only premier big wave places in the world. These massive swells are hitting these areas. Are there other places that we can look into, kind of take a left turn rather than going where you know the waves are good? You can do all the homework you want to do and set everything up, but the ocean will still keep you guessing, and the best surf forecast there really is actually looking at the waves. And if you're there on the right day, it can look completely different than when you're there on the wrong day. I would rather pull the trigger and fly the entire way across the world and be there to see it with my own eyes, even if I get skunked, than sit at home and wonder how it was.
Making sure I don't get run over by a car.
What is this one for?
What? That's the back one.
There's no back window. You just feel it in the bay, like you can hear the water moving against the rocks and kind of the surges running up and down. And that's kind of where the first initial feelings of trying to get your bearings start, like, wow, how big is that?
I see spray over the wall, so that's a good sign. Oh, that's definitely bigger than yesterday. Just be barreling, please.
Please. We're all staring out the windows to see, and the sun is rising up from the east, so it's directly behind the waves. So it's really hard for us to see what the waves are actually doing. In your head, you're like, well, maybe we can't really see it because of the sun, and maybe there's bigger waves that are coming in. Maybe the tide's wrong. Maybe the swell's lagging a little bit, and it'll get bigger later. Land of the rising sun. Like, everything that we were reading and everything we were looking at was showing pretty big surf today in this area, and pretty much almost the entirety of the east coast of Japan. But it's definitely not quite there. Should we surf here and go up there tonight?
I don't want to stay here if it's smaller.
It'll probably be similar to this, I bet. In 2009, chased a really big typhoon and got incredible waves. Ever since then, I've just always been lured to come back and chase another typhoon and see if I can get anything similar to that. It still could come together.
We call this swell chasing unicorns. Kelly Slater actually really hyped me up to come here and was talking about Currents Point and these waves back in 1991 that he's seen that nobody had surfed before. And I was really, really eager to get out here and see, exactly what he was talking about.
When I got out there, I noticed that it was a lot bigger than it looked from the beach. We thought, okay, maybe if it's a lot bigger than it looked from the beach and it's this size right now and the peak of the swell is not even supposed to be here for 3 or 4 hours, maybe it's gonna change. First, it wasn't kind of as big as we'd hoped it was, and then it started to step out and boil and ledge on really shallow, almost dry reef. It was kind of fluffy and wonky, And there was size, but it wasn't quite what we were hoping. When you're out there, you see these lines coming in and everything's standing up and getting really tall and thick, and you feel all the water moving, and it just won't quite like lurch up and barrel. It gets real steep and then just doesn't quite do it. Like, look at this set. Not so hollow, yeah? Does it get more hollow? Yeah. It does, yeah? Yeah. As soon as I look at the wave that we went there to surf, I start to visualize what could be around the corners in either direction of where I am. Where else is this storm sending waves? This can't be the best place for this storm. There's too much energy, there's too much size. The winds are clean at multiple locations. Like, there has to be somewhere else to go. We're obviously in the right part of the world right now. There's a lot more swell out there than there is on Maui, and it's going somewhere on this coast. And I'm within a 2-hour flight or, you know, a couple-hour train ride from being wherever that storm might be. So let's get on the phone and try to figure this out. That's where the storm is, that's where this one is. We're down here in this southernmost island. If we go to Tokyo, we should be leaving already.
We have to get out of here anyways because of the storm coming here. So I think it makes best sense that we like stay here and we get out of here tomorrow morning. We gotta leave anyways.
Because then we'll be flying around mid-morning, and then driving for a couple hours and moving with 10 plus people.
Yeah, but at this point he can get all that set up. Like if we go tonight, we're full blind, 11 people we're trying to move. That's a lot of people to try to move.
With
at
not
night,
a car
with,
or a hotel or anything. Why don't you set everything up tonight? We get there and they can take care of us when we get there. Go surf, we're here, let's go surf.
It's lost so much energy since about noon today here. It's still fun, but it's just not there. I think this storm was just spinning off different direction than what this wave needs particularly. I feel a lot of anxiety, I guess. You know, you see a system that big and the waves, I don't know, when the waves are that big, I feel like somewhere is really good. I feel like somewhere on this coastline in this country, the waves are getting the brunt of that energy and the winds are good and it's doing it. So I just feel like anxiety to try to figure out where that is and get there. Hi Martha, can you transfer me to Sharon, please? Yeah, I was speaking to her about... It resets the minute that you confirm it with the airline company. It's like, okay, yes, I'm on that flight, reset. What's next? Oh yeah. We're here. Land in Tokyo and the sporadic skitsy rush seems like it sets back into your bones. It's like, okay, we're here. How fast can we get from this airport to the beach to actually see what's going on? Because it's light, and now we're starting to see photos and a few text messages from friends in the area where we're heading to. My first look at the ocean, like when we came over the hill, and you see the mountains of whitewash, all the foam blowing around in the middle of the bay, the hard offshore winds. Like, okay, we're in the right area. Look at how much swell there is.
Look at this thing coming in.
Hey, boss, look how big the wave is in the middle of the ocean right now.
That is really big.
That's huge. That's what my 10-6.
When we pulled up on Sunday and saw the waves, for one, we saw how much bigger it was. There was so much energy. It was like washing the beach away, and waves are going underneath the freeway. There's civil defense sirens going all over the place. There's just like all this energy and chaos going on in this little beach town. You know, all very solid signs that the waves are massive. lot going on here right now. There's a lot of swell, very rushed traveling. I don't know what to do. Almost seems like it's too big for any of these zones here. It's like too big for any of the spots. I don't know, there's a lot more energy here than I thought there was gonna be. Like civil defense is telling everyone to leave the beach. There's like a massive bomby left out there.
There's a big left out there. You see how huge that wave is?
Yeah. I don't think they're used to seeing this much swell here. So they don't really have any specific spots that they surf on a regular basis with waves this size.
There's got to be something else, even if it takes us a little bit to drive. Looks good, and we're seeing great waves, but I think we could find something a little bit better. Look at this pull-out set coming through here.
We just can't seem to find a place that's containing this energy and is rideable.
Over there, outside?
Two of the bigger looking waves, the police were saying that it's illegal to surf out there. One, for a cultural reason, it has a shrine and it's just a very sacred place for Japan. And the other one they deemed as too dangerous.
Okay, yeah. But the two outsides, no. So I'm gonna go surf right here. Yeah. But this one, best spot?
Best spot. Best.
Best. This guy lives here.
I know.
I promise. Best.
No matter how many headaches that we have to deal with in life or whatever, all of that kind of drifts away as soon as you stand up on a wave. You're so intently focused on what's 2 feet in front of you and processing what's going to be coming after that. You're not thinking about how much that lady just charged you for your boards to get on the plane, or the customs guy telling you can't bring CO2 cartridges through. Everything just disappears. Surfing is, for me at least, the only time that I can really turn my brain off. And that's all I'm focused on. 110% of my focus is what is happening right there. There's always somewhere with a swell and decent waves all year long. And if you're constantly like looking at it, it's really hard to like turn that off. We're in Japan, the waves didn't play out the way we had hoped they would. It immediately turns in my head to like, well, what is that big system doing heading towards Tahiti? Or what is that big system doing heading towards the south of Australia? There's always somewhere else to go. Part of getting the good waves is the process in getting there. You learn a lot more about that area by being there and crawling around the coastline looking at every little option than you do sitting on Google Earth at home. Maybe like getting shut out on this trip and learning everything I did about these locations and watching these typhoons so closely because I'm here and in the mix with them, the next time that I see one of these things could lead to me knowing a lot more about them and finding really, really good waves.